Hello and greetings, it's The Guardian's Peter Bradshaw here once again, and welcome back to this channel, catching the snowflake of cinema with the tongue of criticism. And please don't forget to get over yourself and subscribe. The 2017 Grenfell Tower fire in West London, which caused 72 fatalities, is now the subject of Olaide Sadiq's heart-wrenching, enraging documentary for Netflix, Grenfell Uncovered, digging at the causes and movingly interviewing survivors and their families, whose testimony is all but unbearable. At the very least, this film will remind you that when politicians smugly announce that they wish to make a bonfire of regulations, these people should be taken under police escort if necessary and made to stand at the foot of the tower. As for the housing minister of the time, the abysmally arrogant Eric Pickles, he has now been ennobled.
My window was alight and it just raced towards me.
They were telling us to stay inside, but the fire was getting closer. We just dashed it for the stairwell.
It was just smoke, black. I didn't have any idea where they were.
I honestly believed it would be dealt with because it's the United Kingdom.
Somebody had been grossly negligent.
This is described as sticking a petrol tanker to the outside of a building.
With the very considerable help of the housing issues journalist Peter Apps, the film tells how the horror was created by a perfect storm of incompetence, mendacity, greed, and that heart-sinking phrase, systemic failure. The local council were keen to spruce up its brutalist, concrete but safe Grenfell Tower because it was a poor cousin depressing property values. Decorative cladding was just the ticket, and the council chose the cheapest tiles made of aluminium composite material, which was terrifyingly flammable. The French division of a US aluminium firm sold the council those tiles, apparently unconcerned by its own research into how very dangerous they were. The coalition government of David Cameron, dominated of course by red tape burners, had ignored the terrible warning of the 2009 Lakanal house fire in South London with comparable cladding, which killed 6. Other cladding-related fires all over the world had resulted in tighter regulations, but not here in the UK, and senior officers of the London Fire Brigade had not been made properly aware of the cladding issue and so fatally failed to update their policy of stay put, encouraging people in tower fires to stay in their flats and wait for help. Firefighters were courageous, though there was a fatal flaw in their manager's approach. Among the government figures, Theresa May, then PM, has at least had the courage to be interviewed on camera here, although there is something for me very slippery in her statement, there was regulation there, it just wasn't up to purpose. Brian Martin, the civil servant at the time in charge of building regulations, was notoriously dismissive and is said to have shrugged, "Show me the bodies," when told of the cladding danger. He did at least have the grace to sound embarrassed at the inquiry, but the same cannot be said for the grotesquely arrogant Eric Pickles, the housing secretary at the time, who high-handedly told the inquiry that he didn't have all day to answer their questions and talked about the 96 deaths, apparently confusing Grenfell with Hillsborough. Criminal proceedings and convictions and class action lawsuits seem as far away as ever. What is there left for us in the meantime? Well, to establish a database of all UK buildings which still have the unsafe cladding, perhaps, always to make sure we know where the stairwell is whenever we check into a hotel or enter any high-rise building, and to support the continuing campaign of the survivors. And that's it. Please give this vlog a like and a share on those socials of yours. Please subscribe and leave a comment, and please put your hand in your pocket, metaphorically speaking, I suppose, and buy my book, The Body in the Mobile Library and Other Stories, and tell me what you think. Details are given below. See you next time.